Jim the Ape Want Proof. Hello again, humans. It is I, Jim the Ape. And after the stress of my last video, I wanted to tackle something that I consider to be an easy subject. At least an easy position of mine to defend. But first, I have to set the stage. Now, imagine a man with a haircut that doesn't even belong on someone 20 years younger than he is, much less on him. He's out in public, and he's talking to someone with a camera about his political views. Whatever the context of this interview, he's saying how he's not a member of the German National Socialist Party, nor a sympathizer thereof. He goes on to explain that modern-day sympathizers to the cause of said antiquated political party are not particularly fond of him. And just as he's beginning to mention a cartoon frog meme, and before he is able to completely connect the two ideas, he is swiftly struck in the face by a quickly fleeing hooded figure. Now that I've set the scene, here's a multiple choice question. Was the punch justified? A, yes it was, just look at that haircut. B, only if he was lying and was, in fact, a National Socialist sympathizer. Or C, of fucking course not! For those of you playing at home, the correct answer is C. No, it is not okay to violently attack people just for disagreeing with you. The only kind of violence that is acceptable is in self-defense, sanctioned competition, and in defense of the physical safety of others, i.e. freedom fighting, stopping an attempted murder, etc. And if you're a reasonable person, you probably agree with that, and that should be the end of this video. But you know the kinds of things I cover, and of course, reasonable people are in horrifyingly short supply. So after the news of Richard Spencer's assault broke on social media, some people on the left got the idea in their heads that this was a good thing because it was someone they disagreed with who was attacked. And they decided to bend reality into origami pretzels in order to justify the attack and to validate their celebration of it. The go-to excuse was that it was okay because he's a Nazi, according to them. I'll be honest, I don't know if he really is a Nazi, in whatever modern sense of the label even exists. But guess what? It doesn't matter! Unless it's the early 1940s, and you're a soldier in the Allied forces, and you're engaged in combat with a member of the German army, it is not okay to punch someone for being a Nazi! One of the easiest arguments to make about this is just to say that words don't cause any physical harm, so whoever escalates a situation from a verbal disagreement to a physical confrontation is definitely in the wrong from the get-go. But apparently that's not enough. So I'm going to lay out some more. For another thing, being punched in the face may have been what Richard Spencer actually wanted. Now, unlike the almighty Grodd, I am not a telepath, so I don't know this for sure, but it's entirely possible that advocates of extreme points of view want to get attacked by their opposition so that they can pull the victim card and use it as ammunition to claim their positions are validated. Oftentimes, bad ideas don't get defeated by forceful opposition, but rather by being given the freedom to be espoused alongside rational rebuttals, which gradually win over hearts and minds until the bad ideas fade away. As a brief aside, that's why it's so troubling to me that social justice warriors want to silence all criticism of Islam. You know, the religious dogma that is used to justify the oppression of men, women, and children to varying degrees, the beating or even killing of one's own family members for some twisted sense of honor, suicide bombings, ritual beheadings, and mass murder, all done in the name of spreading the religion through fear and violence. So, quite arguably, the worst and most harmful idea on the planet right now is either met with mindless, albeit at times necessary violence in the Middle East, or it's defended against criticism in the West by feminists who don't even realize the mind-blowing irony of their defense of it, when it should be hashed out in rational, intellectual debate where agnostic atheism wins every time because it's the most logical position. And now to get back on track to the punching thing, there's a larger point to be made here, and it should be fairly obvious to anyone who thinks about it. The thing is, if you make it acceptable to go around punching people for holding a political position, then people will do Stretch Armstrong levels of mental gymnastics to accuse anyone they don't like of holding that political belief. If you need evidence of this, look no further than the existence of the knockout game. Basically, there are people who already go around punching people randomly for no justifiable reason whatsoever. If asked, they might say that they just did it for fun. So with that in mind, don't you think even more people would do similar things if you give them an excuse that they can use and will then be defended for and then get away with? But ultimately, my point is that it doesn't matter if you disagree with someone politically. It doesn't matter how insipid or bigoted their beliefs are. It doesn't matter if they walked right up to you and called your mother a gangbanging, crack-smoking cum dumpster. It is not acceptable under any circumstances to hit someone for what they say. I would say that to the Pope himself, and if he punched me in the jaw like he said he would if anyone ever insulted his mother, I'd whip old Frankie's wrinkly, decrepit, boy-loving ass. But enough fantasizing about violent confrontations with the leader of an ancient and somehow massively popular cult. I need to wrap this video up by making the point that turning such violent fantasies into reality is wrong. To put a twist on an old classic, words alone won't break your bones, but punches and kicks mean jail time. So if you agree that punching people is not a valid argumentative tactic and is in fact morally wrong, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you think punching people that disagree with you is totally okay, give it a thumbs down, you belligerent ruffian. Oh, and bear in mind that this video was never about Richard Spencer's political views. Don't know what they are? Don't care. He didn't deserve to get punched for them. Of course, if you want to see more of me, click the subscribe button, then click the bell icon and turn on notifications, and maybe if you send smoke signals to YouTube HQ on top of that, they might just let you know when my next video is uploaded. Maybe, if you're lucky. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter. If you want to support me and help me make more frequent and potentially higher quality videos, please consider donating to my Patreon. Any amount, no matter how small, would be greatly appreciated. As always, thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Stay great, apes.